takes flight. The engines roar like thunder across the cold airfield in Everett, Washington. It was 19th of February, 1969, the morning that will change aviation forever. Before thousands of onlookers, a giant of steel and ambition lifted gently off the runway, her colossal wings shimmering under the sunlight. She was unlike anything the world has ever seen. Her name was Boeing 747. As she climbed higher, a sense of wonder filled the air. The future of travel had arrived, and humanity was about to soar farther, faster, and free than ever before. The rise and fall of the Boeing 747, the queen of the skies. The dream takes flight. The 1960s were years of bold dreams. Men were reaching for the moon, cities were reaching towards the clouds, and the world hungered for speed and freedom. At Boeing's headquarters in the Seattle, a visionary engineer named Joel Sutter received a challenge that most believed was impossible: to build an aircraft twice as large as any that existed, capable of carrying hundreds of passengers across oceans without stopping. Boeing's leader, inspired by Pan-American World Airways legendary founder Joan Triple, believed that the future belonged to the skies. Air travel, once reserved for the wealthy, was about to become a way of life for everyone. Sutter gathered a team of more than 4,500 engineers. Together, they designed an aircraft so big that Boeing had to build the largest factory in the world to assemble it, the massive Everett plant. As the first 747 skeleton rose from the ground, skeptics called it Sutter folly. But Joe and his team pressed on. They knew they weren't just building a machine. They were shaping the future of global connection. When the day of the first flight arrived, hearts raced. The four massive engines hummed to life. The aircraft trembled, then sprinted down to the runway. And in that one historical moment, the Boeing 747, the queen of the sky, took her first royal ascent, the queen of the skies. The year was 1970. Pan Am introduced the Boeing 747 to the public. With its first commercial flight from New York to London, passengers could hardly believe their eyes. The cabin was enormous: double air cells, wide seats, spiral cases leading to the lounge in the sky. There was music, champagne, laughter, and space. So much space. The world had entered the era of the jumbo jet. From Tokyo to Nairobi, London to New York, the 747 became a symbol of prestige. Every major airline wanted one. Her graceful hum became an instant global icon. To pilots, she was a marvel of engineering. To passengers, she was magic. She shrank the world, bringing distant families together, enabling trade, tourism, and friendship on scale humanity had never known before. The queen had found her throne, high above the clouds. The golden era. The 1980s and 1990s were the golden years of the Boeing 747. Airports around the world echoed with her deep, dignified roar. She carried millions of travelers, presidents, celebrities, families, dreamers. Boeing continued to perfect. The 747-200 extended her range, and in 1989, the 747-400 arrived, sleeker, 2020, the world was gripped by the COVID-19 pandemic. Airports fell quieter, planes sat idle, and the great fleet of 747s were grounded overnight. Airlines that had cherished the Queen for decades made the heart-wrenching announcement. British Airways Qatar KLM. Each one said goodbye Queen. Pilots took their final photos in cockpits that had carried them across continent. Crew members wept as they walked through the empty aisles of planes that had once been full of life. One by one, the great jumbos were packed in desert storage under the burning sun. Yet, even as her passenger service faded, the 747 found a new purpose. In her final years, she became the world's greatest cargo carrier, delivering medicine supplies, vaccines, and critical goods when humanity needed them the most. In her final years, she became the world's greatest cargo carrier, delivering medical supplies, vaccines, and critical goods when humanity needed them most. The Queen still served her people, not with glamour, but with grace. The Last Queen. 31st of January 2023, inside Boeing's Everett factory, thousands of workers gathered for one last time. Tears, pride, and memories filled the air. The final Boeing 747-8 fighter was ready to leave her birthplace, painted in the colors of Atlas Air. She stood tall, gleaming under the factory lights, a monument to half a century of humanity brilliance. As she rolled out of the hangar, applause filled the space. Some clapped with joy, others with sadness. For 50 years, the Queen had carried the world, and now she was saying goodbye. When the engines came to life, they seemed to whisper to the skies, "I have done my duty." And with that, she lifted off one last time into the horizon. The Queen's legacy. The skies may be quieter now, but somewhere above the clouds, a 747 still flies, carrying cargo, dreams, and the spirit of adventure. The Queen of the Skies was never just a mate on rivets. She was courage made visible. She was the bridge that brought humanity closer. She proved that ambition could overcome gravity itself. Though her production line has closed, her legacy lives on. In the hearts of those who flew her, those who built her, and those who watched her soar, believing, if only for a moment, that nothing was impossible. Long live the Queen of the Skies. The rise and fall of the Boeing 747, the Queen of the Skies.